Good morning, folks. Well, it's good morning for me. It happens to be Sunday, and I'm doing something. I don't always like doing it, but we got to do it, right? I got to clean and wash my microfibers. One of my subscribers asked, "Hey Scott, how do you clean your microfibers?" Well, I use a washer and I use a dryer. That's pretty much the first step in all of this, right? Well, here's something I wanted to bring up. This happens to be towels that I just use for interior work, or I may use them around the tires. These are microfibers. I don't care if they get pretty trashed. It's not all that, they're not being used on sensitive areas around the vehicle. And I just have like a weird color code with these things. It's my green towels typically end up being towels that I use for interior work or around really dirty areas like engine bays, tires, and stuff like that. So I never confuse it. My green ones are the ones that, you know, they're just not used around sensitive areas. And I actually get these at Sam's, at the big box store. I think for 36 of them, it's somewhere around $15 or $16. It's a great deal. But these are perfectly suited and fine for interior work. But I wanted to talk about how I wash them. That's really the key point to this video. Well, these towels get pretty grungy. They get pretty nasty from cleaning tough interiors, wiping stuff up off carpets and headliners and stuff like that. But what do I wash my microfiber towels in? That's probably the most important part. Well, you have a couple of different options. Some people may just go and grab their favorite laundry detergent and think, this is going to be fine. I'm going to wash my microfibers with that. Well, and I want to make a couple of points about this, because there's all sorts of companies out there that give us dedicated microfiber laundry detergent soaps, and I've used them. I haven't really had much luck with them, so I go another route to actually get my microfibers clean. But I don't ever use any type of normal laundry detergent, and I'll tell you why. This laundry detergent here happens to be extra. I don't know where I got it. I think I get it, maybe I got it at Walmart or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you're using something else. But these laundry detergents here, they have a lot of different fragrances in them. This one here happens to be lavender and sweet vanilla. That's great, right? When we wash our clothes in that stuff and we pull our clothes out of the dryer, it smells like lavenders. It's wonderful. It's great. Plus they have dyes in them. Plus they have fabric softeners in them. One of the reasons why, and it never gets discussed, and I'm awfully surprised when people talk about cleaning microfibers. Yes, they say, hey, don't use normal laundry detergent, because they'll tell you that it will start to break the microfiber towel down. Maybe it will start to lose its plushness or its softness. Well, to some extent that's true, but there's a bigger reason why you don't want to use this stuff, and I'll tell you why. If you use this type of stuff, remember, it's got dyes in it. It's got fragrances in it. It smells like lavender or vanilla or whatever you happen to be using from your normal laundry detergent. If you happen to use that type of detergent on a microfiber towel that you might be using around paint, these are yellow ones that I buy. These are really nice and soft. They're fine. I use these on the paint. But let's say I washed these towels that I use around paint, that I'll use around glass. That's really key. But paint and glass, if I actually used the laundry detergent that has fragrances in them, like this extra does, lavender, the fabric softeners, and the dyes, and I use it to wash my microfibers that I'm cleaning or using on the paint of the vehicle or on glass windows, what happens is, if you wash your stuff in that type of laundry detergent, that residue gets stuck. It stays inside the towel. Then when we smell it, wow, it smells great. It smells like lavenders. That's beautiful. But here's where the problem comes in, and this doesn't get discussed a lot, because there's still residue left over from those fancy laundry detergents that have all sorts of smells in them. If you're using a glass cleaner on glass and you happen to wash this microfiber towel in regular laundry detergent with fragrances in it, fabric softeners, and then you go to wipe the glass, what's going to happen is that residue that's on this towel is going to start interfering with your glass cleaner, and it's going to get really streaky on you, even if the glass is relatively clean, because all that residue from normal laundry detergent that we're washing our clothes with is still on the towel. So you want to be really careful with that. And if you're using that type of laundry detergent on towels that you're touching the paint with, if you're using a spray wax or you're wiping a compound or a polish off the paint, that residue from a normal laundry detergent is still on this towel. It will kind of reactivate as it gets wet. And all of a sudden you'll start seeing a lot of streakiness going on the panel of the paint. Maybe you're using some type of spray wax and you're wiping the spray wax across the panel, and all of a sudden all that residue from your laundry detergent that has fragrances in it and fabric softeners, as this towel gets wet, it will start reintroducing that stuff from your laundry detergent on the panel, on the paint, on the glass, and it will become incredibly streaky and it will drive you completely nuts. So how do we resolve that issue? Again, I don't use a dedicated microfiber laundry detergent that you might be buying from Chemical Guys or Griots, whatever. What I'll do, especially on a towel like this that's pretty hammered, again, these are my green towels, I use this on the interior. I'm not so concerned about any type of residue from a laundry detergent when I'm wiping down plastics or rubber or leather or carpet, but I still want to keep everything consistent. So I'm going to wash them all in one particular detergent, and I'll show it to you. What I like to use is called All. This is All Stain Lifters. It's free of perfumes. It's clear of any dyes, and it has no fabric softeners in it that I'm aware of. It says that it's completely dermatologist safe for kids that might be sensitive to certain types of chemicals or laundry detergents, or maybe you happen to be sensitive with certain detergents. This is incredibly gentle, and it's not going to leave any residue on the towel where all of a sudden when we're using some type of cleaner to clean our vehicles, we start getting a residue or something that's fighting us on the glass or on the painted surfaces or even some of the wood veneer that might be clear coated inside vehicles. It will drive you nuts if you wash these things in regular laundry detergent with a lot of different scents in them and dyes and fabric softeners. So in this particular case here, I'm going to be washing my interior rags, my engine bay rags. Now what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and dump these in the laundry machine. This is boring, right? Watching somebody do laundry, but I'll show you what I do. The other thing I want to mention is always take a look at your microfibers. Every once in a while, because I'm mobile, you might get like a little leaf that gets stuck and bonds to the microfiber, and if a leaf or a little twig gets stuck on these things, they're kind of tough. You got to pull them out. So I'm always going to inspect my microfibers. Yes, there's dirt and grime on it. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to wash it. But here's a little area here. There's a little leaf that actually got stuck on here. I want to make sure I release all that stuff before I put them all in the wash. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just take a look at these things. That looks fine. That looks fine there. I probably should have prepared so you guys don't have to watch me do this whole process. Just bear with me. I'm going to throw all these nasty, what I call my all-purpose microfiber towels, the ones that I'm not using on any sensitive areas, and then I'll show you how much detergent I use. It's not all that difficult, but I just wanted to help that one subscriber out. Okay, so I've got all those nasty green ones that I use as an all-purpose deal. Now, what I'll do is you can do a couple of different things. You can take, this happens to be simple green. This is an all-purpose cleaner. Again, these are ones that I'm not touching the paint with or with the glass. You can put a little bit of all-purpose cleaner, a couple of ounces if you want. The one thing that I like to do is I'll use OxyClean, and only the ones that I'm using for interior cleaning. For whatever reason, I don't know if this has any type of, these things here don't have like fabric softeners in them. They don't smell like lavenders or anything like that. These work just fine just for my non-sensitive area microfiber towels and the ones that I don't use on paint or glass. I'll just take a little bit of OxyClean, just a little bit. There's not a lot of towels in there, and then I'll just apply it to the wash. Now what I wash all of my microfiber towels in is the oil. The oil free of clear, free of dyes. And I'll just take a little bit of that stuff. And this is a pretty small load. Oh, I love that word, right? I'm gonna put a cup in it either way. Probably a full cup of this stuff would wash about 70 microfibers, but I don't know. I guess maybe because I don't overthink it, or maybe I should overthink it. But there you go. I'm going to put a little bit of oil into the wash. And that's all I'm going to do for cleaning those nasty, all-purpose, everyday towels that I use in the interior. Now when it comes to what function I'm going to put this on, I don't like washing them in really hot water, and I don't like washing them in cold, so I'm going to go with the warm cycle, somewhere in between. When it comes to how fast should the washer spin, how fast should your rinse cycle should be, again, these are not the towels I'm using on paint. I don't care if they even break down after 7 or 8 washes, I'm just going to throw them away. But typically I just leave the setting on normal, on regular spin cycle, and that's it. And then I'll go ahead and start this thing. When it comes to drying, I'll get you over here and I'll show you how I dry my towels. After I've washed them and it's time to dry them, let me get this stuff out of the way. Whenever you're drying microfiber towels, don't use any type of, what is this, Breezy. This is a fabric softener, a little thing that you put in there to make your clothes soft. Don't ever use those. Just put the microfiber towels into the dryer, and my particular dryer here has a temperature setting. It's got high for heavy, medium, and then low for delicate. I'm going to put everything on delicate. I don't want to dry my microfibers on really hot temperatures. It'll break the microfiber down. And then what I'll typically do is leave it on low. I'll throw them into the dryer, and then I'll run it for about 10 or 15 minutes. I don't completely dry the microfiber towel. I leave it where it's just slightly damp, but I get most of the moisture out of it, and then after that, I'm fine. The microfibers will dry within a couple of minutes after that on their own. I don't like going completely dry with them, because if you dry them completely, they could start to break down. But that's my little tip there on using the oil, free of perfumes, free of dyes, free of fabric softeners, for all of my microfiber towels. And the reasons why I don't use this, yes, this stuff can begin to break down the microfiber, but you'll get residue left over on the rag itself if you're using that stuff, and then it will reactivate if it gets wet with like an all-purpose cleaner or a spray wax, and it will drive you nuts on the panel of the paint or the glass. Alright guys, 13-minute video, holy crap, about microfiber washing, but I hope that helps that one subscriber out. Until the next video guys, love one another, be kind to one another, and we'll see you soon.